What is up, guys? Today I wanted to talk about how you should play when you're down barracks. So I'm going to show you a couple examples of games I played recently where we go down a barracks early before we've taken any of theirs, and then we come back to win. And I'm going to show you, kind of what needs to be happening on the team to ensure that you can still win these games. Because a lot of times losing a barracks is not the end of the story. I will show you one game where we lost to Barracks and then did not play well, and we did end up losing that game, and I'll show you what I could have done differently. I'm not saying we definitely would have won if I had played it perfect, but it'll be part of what you need to do, and I'll show you what I didn't do when you go down Barracks, so let's check it out in this game. So we lose Barracks here. We were pressuring high ground, we got wiped, and they walk down mid and take mid, and so I'm just doing my part, keeping pressure on the side lanes. They've got like a lone druid drow, so they just take our buildings incredibly quickly. We're actually up here. So, this will happen in a lot of games where the team that takes a barracks is like losing in net worth. So we do get some return kills, but no cores. And we actually lose another barracks coming up in a second. 36-40. So what happens here is, for no reason, we just walk down mid lane. This will happen in a lot of your games, guys. I don't know what Invoker's doing. Invoker's psycho. But, they're all alive. We don't have Aegis. Our lanes aren't particularly good. This happens a lot at low MR. This does not happen a lot in my games. I was so confused here. I was like, what are we doing? There's no reason we should have been doing what we were doing, and we get punished for it. Shocker. So they proceed to walk down bottom and racks us bottom. I'm like flabbergasted here. I'm like, what is happening? So now it's an even game, right? And we do get some return kills off this again. We got the bear and the summon spirit bear. But here's the situation. We are now down 2 racks, even though we were ahead. And we need to decide what we're going to do. I don't know if you noticed, but I had a ton of gold a second ago. I am buying myself. I was going back and forth on what items we needed. And then all this stuff started happening. I was considering a Hex. I was considering, more right-click oriented builds. And then we lost 2 racks. And so the core concept that I want to talk about today is when you're down racks, your team needs to be able to push waves. It's so important to have, or be able to prevent your waves from getting super shoved in. So if you're a hero that doesn't naturally shove waves that well, buy whatever item you need to allow you to shove waves. And sometimes you can't really do this. Say you're an Oracle, right? I mean, you're just not going to do it. There's nothing you can do. There's no item you can buy, right? You need somebody on your team to do this for you. And this can go as a core as well. Some cores are very good at shoving out waves, and they should do that. But in this mid-late game phase, it's not always good to have your core showing on lanes. It can be a lot better to either be able to clear it from fog, which Silencer can kind of do, especially with this Ags, as I'll show you. Or, just showing a support on a lane at this phase in the game is way less impactful than a core. So that I'll show you that in the game where we end up losing. But let me walk you through what I do with this Ags to keep us in the game and keep our lane shoved out. So I'm just shoving out this bot wave, and I shove it out again. So I'm just on lane duty. This is what I call it, lane duty. And I even bought... Oh, I don't buy it yet, just kidding. So I'm on lane duty, have my TP up, TP to where a fight is going to be happening. It does not go well, but that's okay. I mean, it goes, kind of even. I think this Marcy's a carry, but, it's... I die, I buy back. It doesn't go great for us. We get Tidehunter the core. We might have gotten the bear again. So I did buy back there. And notice I could have, I was walking towards the engagement, which is why I didn't just walk out mid. I could have cleared this, but I didn't. But it's okay, my tier 4s will clean this up, right? But what do? I go back to lane duty. My team's setting up for Roche. I can basically one-shot waves with this build. I don't know if the talent matters, but I have the Arcane Curse talent. And I'm basically just shoving out waves. I have the Quickening Charm, lets me do it a little bit faster, or more often. And I TP back here, and I'm on lane duty. Somebody has to be doing this when you're down barracks. And it's even better if you can do it as a support and let your cores not have to worry about it. Because if my you know, Marcy core, who doesn't clear waves that well, but, you know, whatever. It's an aggressive core, right? He wants to be able to, like, make moves right now. If you have a core that has to come back and do this, it is not that great for your team because it inhibits your ability to, like, go make plays elsewhere. So if you can do this as a support, which is most of the games that I'm going to show you, it's the supports doing this. I'll show you one game where I am a Drow, and it's still my supports that for the most part do it. But notice I'm just on lane duty. Clear it, Drow is hanging around, clear it again, the Primal's hanging around, and I'm just completely preventing this lane pressure bottom while my team is fully controlling top and mid, which is very good from them. And I even bought myself Boots of Travel. So one other concept when you are down a Rax is buyback. So you need to save buyback when you're behind as support. And then once you use it, spend the rest of your gold. So I spent the rest of my gold because I bought back, so I don't have it for forever now. So I spent it on this Boots of Travel so that I can do this job of lane shoving and still connect to my team. We get a really nice pick off on Drow here. My team like connects. They had controlled these two areas and swept bottom, which is a really high level play. The Drow gets caught out, which is super lucky for us. And what do? I'm still on lane duty, right? They got our mid racks as well. My team barreled down bottom, so I am lane duty again. And then I TP into the fight when needed. And notice our lanes are not a problem, even though we're down 2 racks. We've caught up in net worth, or we were ahead of net worth. We got back to even. We're climbing in net worth again, even down 2 racks. We're here supporting the team. Their Drow's respawning. I TP mid to do lane duty again. My Invoker TP'd at the same time, so I just let him do it so that I could go get mana anyways. And at this point, lane duty isn't needed, so I TP in to help my team. And we do end up winning the game here off this fight. The game ends right now. And so you can see the lane duty I provided as the position 5. I mean, granted, I had a bunch of farm. You need to be able to farm when you're doing this. That's why, you know, it's important to farm as supports even. You know, I didn't go super greedy, right? I started 4 staff, Ghost Scepter. But you can farm waves your Q, and I used the gold I did have after we lost those racks to buy an item that let me clear the super creeps. So if you can do this, you should. And if your hero can't, you need somebody on your team who can clear waves to make sure they're doing this. And ideally, it's the least important hero that can do it. So if you have like a PA with Battle Fury, right? Well, they could do it. But if you also have a, you know, position 4, I don't know, some position 4 like Mirana or something, then they can do it as well. So whatever the least important hero on your team is that can do it should be the one mostly doing the lane duty. And at least for one of the lanes that you're down. If you're down multiple lanes, at least cover one. And if you're down just the one lane, you know, just cover that lane. And then being able to connect the fights with TPs is really important. So let's jump into the next game. All right, in this game, we have just lost a team fight mid. I'm the Winter Wyvern support. I did buy my shard early this game, which is the item that allows me to clear super creep waves. So what happens is they take our racks. In this game, they're up a little bit. Not a ton, but they're winning. And you will see in this game, the way I play is lane duty again. So I sit mid. Go take an outpost real quick. Walk back to mid. I am on lane duty this game. This mag is here, right? But like, he's more important to be like doing stuff for the team than I am. So we kind of push this in together. But it's better. Like he was doing it because he was connecting to the team. But in general, that's what I want my job to be. And then I'm here with my team when I need to be. And we're pushing in the lane that got racks. Generally, it's good to do this, but you don't always have to. Like if somebody can just clean up the wave while your team pushes in a different one, that's okay. You don't have to push down the wave that they got super creeps on. But it can be good. But don't like flame your team if that's not what's happening. It's not a huge deal. So they get some pickoffs. And so what do? We're on lane duty. Let me slow it down a little bit. Right, they pick off our mag. And Winter Wyvern's a great hero for kind of doing this safely from a distance. If you can do it from a distance, it's really good. Whatever hero you have that can do it from a distance. Or they can just do it safely. Like, our Spirit Breaker is also good at clearing lanes. Especially, he's, like, pretty farmed. So you, like, kind of choose through these creep waves. So he can do it too, but he's clearing the side lanes, which he's better at. I am very good at clearing the mid lane. If you don't know, Winter Wyvern Shard makes a Splinter Blast go off on a Cold Embrace. So you Cold Embrace one of your creeps, and then you Splinter Blast, and then a second Splinter Blast will go off. Doesn't completely kill, it doesn't completely one-shot a Super Creep Wave, but it's close. That basically clears it. And you can see my Tusk is mid right now. I did rotate away to be with my team, connect, provide some detection. But generally, I am on lane duty. So here, I could have even walked mid right now to clear it instead of Magnus. I just wanted to hang around my team, but it would have been better if he had come over to the team and I cleared mid and then returned back, but it's okay. So we decided to get out, lane duty again. And so we were down a Rax, but I am making sure that this mid wave, for the most part, is not a huge problem. Still being with the team whenever I need to be. That is super important. This first fight doesn't go that well, but again, we're clearing mid. And then we kind of snowball this fight into a win. We get several pickoffs. The Slark plus Tusk is just able to find kill after kill. But we kept the lanes shoved in and then still connected with our team in the meantime. And it's because we prioritized clearing the midway first that we would have time to do this, and nobody was needing to like TP back to our base to get the creep wave. To get the creep waves that had pushed in by default. So be on lane duty. That is the core concept of this video. And let's show you one more win where it wasn't me doing it, but I will show you with the minimap how my team did this. All right, so here in this game, we lose our Rax right here. Or it's a long drawn out fight. And then we lose our Rax. But you can see we're like 8k behind. Having to play pretty dangerously. They like kind of barely get our Rax. But we do shove them back. So it's not the end of the world, right? This is losing a Rax is usually not the end of the world. We're gonna chase away a little bit here. But now we're gonna watch. I'm gonna do it fast. So right now I'm clearing the mid wave. Somebody should be doing it. Drow's decent at it with her shard, but she doesn't have to do it. And again, like, if I'm doing it and if I'm having to go back, that's not good, right? Because, like, I'm the carry, I'm the strongest hero on the team. I don't really want to have to do that. Unless, like, I want to be pushing down that lane anyways, which is what I was doing here. But here you can see there's fighting going on. And then we are going to separate here in a second. Nobody's getting mid-wave, but they are now. Invoker's covering the mid-wave. I TP to the side lane because I wanted to collapse the map. We're chasing this Huskar. But notice our mid-wave is pushed in because of what this Invoker did. Unfortunately, I die here, but... Okay, so we do all die. But I'm going to show you here what happens. So Invoker pushes out the mid-wave. Mirana pushes out the bottom wave. And then Mirana pushes out the bottom wave again. Keeps the lanes out. Timbersaw takes mid, while Invoker went to the jungle, which is fine. As long as somebody's clearing mid at all times. Basically being on lane duty. Here their tide just kind of feeds, which is very strange. But you can see my team is kind of doing this lane duty in the meantime. And this is how you need to play and really prioritize lanes. I mean, you should do this anyways, even if you don't have super creeps. But if you're down, it's really important you don't let these super creep waves shove in and lose your team map control by default. Like, you need to heavily prioritize those waves in particular to keep shoved out so that your team and the cores have the capability of coming around and doing what they need to be doing without having to worry about these waves all the time. So notice it wasn't really me for the most part. It was the rest of my team because I'm the carry. So let me show you a game where we lost. And it did not... I did not... I'm not saying we would have won if I had played this right, but it would have been easier for sure. In making this video, I kind of looked at this replay because I knew we had lost it, and this game went a long time. So I was like, okay, well, somebody obviously at some point should have been clearing lanes, and I was watching myself, and I was like, oh, like I wasn't really doing it for whatever reason. So this game, we lost our top racks here after this fight, and then we actually proceed to... lose the mid racks as well, just off like another bad fight that happens pretty immediately. I get this ward and feed for it. Not very smart. Let's fast forward a little bit. They walk down mid. They get the mid racks. And then we push them away, right? So the game is not, like, over here. Like, yes, they are, like, way ahead, but we do have good matchups. We, like, honestly, we do. We have good matchups. Like, they're strong. Unfortunately, my Axe is just not having much of a game. See the net worth, he's, like, really low. But I still think this game was winnable from this point. 100%. But I just did not follow my own advice that I was giving in these previous examples. So let me show you what not following these examples or not following this thought process and being like the lane cleanup guy. Let me show you what that looks like and what that forces your team to have to do. Because I'm a hero that can do it, right? I could buy my shard. I'm like debating here what to buy, and I'm thinking too much about, because we're down 2 racks now. The items you need to buy when nobody's down any racks are different than the items that need to be bought when you're down 2 racks, right? You need to be able to shove out these lanes, and if you're the hero that can do it by like buying an item, then you should do it. So I first should have been buying my shard here, 100%. And then here, I'm like kind of letting my Coddle do this, but honestly, if I have my shard, I'm better at it. So I should be buying my shard and then doing it instead of Coddle. Like, yes, Coddle can push out waves, but he has to illuminate twice, which takes like, because you have to charge up and then chakra, and like wait a half second and then charge up again, right? It takes a bit. Whereas Wyvern just uses 1 W and 1 E, and that basically clears a wave almost completely. So I could be doing it instead of my Coddle. And right here, he had to walk away, right? Or he chose to. I could have continued doing this here. We don't die to this Lich. Get a D-ward. Pushing out a little bit. Right now, nobody's pushing out mid. Big mistake. I'm just hanging around, like, waiting for, like, another fight to happen. And what is this forcing my team to do? Because I'm not doing it. Well, it's shoving into our base. And then my Axe and my Morphling both are showing on the mid wave to clear it right now. Like, do they want to be doing that? No, they do not want to be clearing this. They don't want these creeps to be here. Because if there were no creeps here, if the creeps were, like, here, A, we'd have more information. And B, they could feel safe to, like, walk out and set up to defend this tower. Or something like that. But instead, they are showing on enemy vision. And I'm not saying this is their fault. I'm saying this is kind of like my fault. So here I don't have the shard. I feel like I'm playing like I have the shard, but I don't. Because I like cold embrace that creep. That can be good to do anyways, even if you don't have shard. Because it just like helps keep your creep alive. But I definitely should have prioritized shard here instead of... What did I just buy? I think I bought a blink dagger. Oh no, I've had the blink dagger. I finished this Aether lens, it looks like. Yeah, I finished my Aether Lens, which I think was just a mistake. Like, yes, Aether Lens is a good item, but it's not playing to the problem that my team is having, which is these lanes getting shoved in. So now we're, like, kind of doing it. We're doing it poorly because we don't have our shard. Mistake for me. Morphling is showing again. Now Morphling has to show again on the mid wave. Like, he just doesn't want to be doing this. This is not what my mid Morphling, with all these items, wants to be doing. Like, giving the enemy information is really bad. And it's not his fault, right? It's just that I'm not doing the job well. Coddle could be doing it too. He's not really doing it well. And this is what happens when you're not doing it well. And, like, not only am I not clearing the mid wave, like, what do I do instead? I, like, walk into where the enemy has vision and just instantly feed. I didn't know they had a ward there. I could have guessed. I could have smoked myself to, like, make that ward play, which would have been, like, pretty value, actually. If I, like, smoked myself and they didn't see and I'd gotten, like, a high ground ward down here. Or maybe I wouldn't have put high ground because it's obvious. But if I, like, dropped it here or something sneaky, maybe. It could have been a nice ward to have, right? But I should have just been clearing. And what's happening again? My Morphling is clearing top wave, showing on vision. And for whatever reason, my Coddle's, like, not pushing out mid very well. And this is what it looks like when the supports aren't doing the job of clearing out mid, or clearing out the super creep lane when they could be. So I got the vision that he killed me. But again, Morphling is showing on the mid wave, not ideal. Slark is now showing top, not ideal. They are not doing the things that they should be doing. Like, what could I have done right here when I respawn, right? I could have just ran top here. Replay bug. Right? But, like, top is pushing in. We see here up there pushing it in. It's a super creep. It's going to be pushing in really hard. And we don't need to be making any play right now, right? They have Aegis and they're up 20k. I don't know what's happening bottom, but, like, this top lane is going to be the next problem for our team, and I kind of, like, ignore that. I'm just not playing in the mindset of, like, pushing out waves in this game. And you can see it forces my Slark to go do that, whereas my Slark would rather not be doing this. He could just be farming the jungle, which would keep him off map and still get him farm, while also getting me some farm. And if I had my shard, I clear waves better than this Slark anyways, honestly. You really do. So not only is he doing a suboptimal job, but he's doing it while giving away more valuable information than if I were to be doing it, because it doesn't matter if I'm showing on the wave. So you can see, like, we're still getting shoved in. I mean, I'm dead, so I can't be doing anything right now. But basically, we did not handle these creep waves being pushed in well. It constantly forced our cores to show because I was not doing my job well doing this. And I think, honestly, that's a lot of what contributed to how poorly this phase of the game went. It did not feel like... If I had been doing my job well, I think it would have set us up better to be able to come back in this game. And instead, they pretty much just continue to snowball their lead. They had these information that, like, oh, this core on their team just showed top, so we can get a kill bottom, right? They were kind of constantly getting pickoffs, but they had the information that let them do that because I was not doing my job very well this game of pushing it out. And like I said, I'm not saying we definitely would have won if I had, like, bot shard ASAP and just spent more time pushing out waves, but it would have been closer. I guarantee you it would have been closer than how this game went, with the fact that I, like, did not do that and was not playing that well. So just wanted to share this video with you guys. Hopefully you can see how valuable it is, especially with this bad example of keeping those lanes shoved out, buying whatever item you need to shove it out. I did not do that in this game, and we paid the price. And if you are not the hero that can do this, or if you're a very important hero and you have a less important hero on your team that can do it, try and get them to do it. Don't flame them, but say, like, hey, it's really important if you can push out this wave so that I can go do something else. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one. I realize this is, like, a weird place to stop this video because we, like, sort of wipe them here, but I'll just show you what happens because we do not win this game. You're like, oh, but didn't you guys just clean them up? Like, isn't this game going to go well? Well, they got megas, right? So no, it's not. They just all respawn. My Morphling actually, like, not feeds, but, like, he gets picked off by their Void Spirit, who's very farmed, right? And then we just lose the game because they have megas and we have a dead mid. So wasn't sure if anybody would be confused by that, because it's like, wait, you just wiped them and you're, like, ending the video saying, like, it went poorly. So that's what happened. Wow. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, sub to the channel. And if you want to be coached by me, check the link in the video description. You can join my Discord there, and there's all the information there on how to sign up.